Yo, what y'all doing up at this hour? Oh, Bun, what's good? Gohan, Yozo, Marksman, Fry, how you doing? Mr. Finster was just watching Marizo video as I see the notification for sure. You see the Pistons beat OKC? Nah, I didn't see any of the games yesterday because I was asleep. Glug Slopper, Chris Scout, Momo Sorry, what's good? What's good? EU hours is crazy. Hey, you know. Boot up that ranked with no warm up. Nah. That old thing, y'all see that? That costume is so pretty. Can you show it off so I can make it? Yeah, I'm about to pick it anyway. Got it off stream. Yeah, I've been doing really well in Tekken lately, but I play even better off stream than I do on stream. I feel like my matches go a lot better. But yeah, I would have liked to have, you know, y'all seen it on the channel on YouTube, but I'm like so far ahead with recordings right now that it's gonna be a bit before y'all see it. So niggas who tune into the streams, y'all get to see it early. But your boy did hit GOD. Got it on video. Coming soon. I say soon, it's like 7 videos away or something like that, but because the video I just posted, I'm still Emperor. So y'all got, well no, in the video I just posted, I'm Emperor, but I ranked up to Tekken God. So y'all still gotta see me go from Tekken God to TGS and all the way up, you know what I'm saying? Yo, Lamar, what's good, man? DBZ back in the day, how you been? Been better, been worse, but niggas are still, you feel me? Just Meowdy got her Huo as well. Just Meowdy for now, but we gonna work on Huo soon. I've been really enjoying playing Meowdy Zoo. I feel like I play better with this character. So here's a couple of things I've learned recently. Okay, I've learned a few things. One, I already knew this, but I really like Meowdy Zoo a lot. I think this character is very fun to play. Number two, I think she is way easier than Huarong and Reina. And with that comes a significant less amount of stress. Playing Meowdy Zoo is so much less stressful than Huo and Reina. And these are the things I've learned. I also feel like I'm playing Tekken more, or at least I think more about certain things and I play a bit more with more intent and I guess with more thought. I'm still a bum, but like I feel like I'm learning and improving more playing Miaozu than I was with Bo and Reina. Weezy was good. Can't wait for Cooney, same. Reina and Huo damn near specialist characters, so that makes sense to me. I think they are specialist characters. I think Reina and Huo both are specialist characters. So me playing 2 specialist characters when I'm not even that good in the first place was kind of nuts. But like, you know, I think I'm just gonna drop Reina, to be honest. Especially once Cooney comes out. Yo, Mr. Finster, thank you for the 3 months. We greatly appreciate that. I'm getting sick of ads. I feel that we all are, bro. Cool as Reina is, I get that. The thing is as well is that like it just feels like no matter how much I practice, I just can't get at doing electrics, man. And it's just like there's just such a ceiling to how you can play that character if you can't do an electric. And like it's the same thing with Huo and Skyrocket, to be honest, but like you can kind of play him without it and I still really have a lot of fun. Nihao was good, man. Biggest cry for help I've seen yet. Hey man. Ahaha.
Get ready for the next battle.
The Evo situation with the basically being entirely owned by Saudi now.
Round 1. Fight.
Did you get invited to the Avatar Alpha? No, I did not, unfortunately. I actually did sign up this time. Last time I didn't sign up because I honestly didn't know that you had to. I signed up this time and I was not accepted, unfortunately. Okay, so that crushed my job. They do an Evo every month starting in 2027 in different locations. I've seen a lot of shit on social media about this, and it's again, you just can't have conversations about literally anything anymore, bro. It's like some of the shit I've been seeing is like so exhausting. It's just like you say one thing, people want to interpret it as another, and it's just like instead of like having a conversation, people just want to be right. When it's like why would this even an argument? So for example, right, like there are people saying that having that many Evos waters it down and makes it way less prestigious and things of that nature, right? Which, truth be told, I completely and entirely agree with. I agree with that a lot, actually. But then I've seen people saying like, and particularly like people from like other countries where it's like, oh, Americans this and Americans that, and you know, selfish and greedy and ignorant and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, no, look, just because I don't think there should be 13 Evos a fucking year doesn't mean that I don't think other countries deserve opportunities or events. That's not the same thing. You're doing the pancakes and waffles thing. You know what I mean? And it's just like, yeah, just seeing a bunch of exhausting conversations like that where it's like, bro, like, it's like I kind of wanted to talk about it and make a video about it, but like it's one of those things where I saw so many tweets that just completely discouraged me from wanting to like really talk about it at all, because it's like it's just such a headache just trying to communicate with people online, like even a little bit, man. it's just so much like willful ignorance and then just like animosity. Airborne anyway. The fact that somebody could actually beat Justin's record in a single year is laughable. That won't happen though. Like, it's the funny thing to think about, but that's just. Because first of all, who's even gonna be going to every single one of those? You know what I mean? It's unrealistic for really anybody to go to all of those events, let alone win all of them. You know what I mean? Evo every month sounds exhausting. I don't know how that would work. It won't. that's my thoughts on it. I'm happy for everybody that gets to experience it in their region though, so that's cool. That's the thing is though, is that like they won't be though. Like what they'll be getting is not an authentic Evo experience. And even if it's a good event, like it's not gonna be what Evo was traditionally or like before, you know what I mean? And that's just like, see, I feel like I can talk about it here because I don't think I'm gonna get into an argument with anybody in this chat that's going to try to like misinterpret what I'm saying intentionally or be like, you know what I mean, like just hostile. Like we can just have a civil conversation. But when you will inevitably, like I think it would be impossible to not lose something when you expand that much. Think about it like this, right? I don't know how many of you guys have ever experienced this, but you could at least probably understand like what I'm talking about, right? You ever had like a local chain or restaurant that you kind of fucked with, whatever, a little mom and pop shop, something like that, and like, damn bro, like the service here is so good, or like the quality of food, whatever, and then eventually they get so popular or succeed so much that they expand, and then it's no longer anywhere near as good. It's like either the quality goes down or the service isn't as good as it used to be, or like shit gets more expensive or something like that. It's the same thing where it's like when you up and expand like that, something's definitely gonna get lost. And then there's the whole, you know, sports washing aspect of it anyway, you know, the moral issue people have with Saudi Arabia, understandably so, which, you know, it's a whole thing. And I like the concept of other countries getting opportunities and events that they otherwise wouldn't have. You know, there are people who can't travel to America for EVO Las Vegas. I get that. That's not lost on me. And like I said, fortunately, I think, at least in this chat, I don't have to worry about you niggas like, so you think niggas in Brazil don't deserve a fucking event? Like, no, nigga, obviously not. But I think the EVO name is going to lose a lot, if it hasn't already, of what it used to mean to people. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, we finally get to have an EVO like in my country. It's like, sure, but it's really not EVO anymore. Like It's genuinely just not. Like it's Evo only in name and not actually at all in, you know, like sentiment or what's the word, like community or whatever, you know what I mean? Like it's just not the same thing anymore. Crowd size is going to diminish because more people are just going to be like, I can go next time. Well, that's another thing as well, is that I imagine Evo Vegas would still be the biggest one. But as well with that, you know, people travel all over the world to go to Evo, or from all over the world to go to Evo. Now with more events, and rightfully and understandably so, people will be like, oh, well, I don't have to go all the way to Vegas because like there's going to be one closer, either in my country or closer to my home country. So there's that. You know, the top of the top, you know, your top players from Europe and Asia and stuff are still gonna go to wherever, especially if they're sponsored and stuff, but no. Yeah, what's good, Jen? To your point, WWE has a pay-per-view every month but one WrestleMania. Congrats on God, thank you. Like if the MCU dropped an Avengers movie every single year almost. Nah, not even. It's more like it would be more like, let's just say you're somebody who celebrates Thanksgiving, right? I don't know about you guys, but I like turkey a lot, and we don't have to turn this into a turkey versus ham debate. You can use turkey or ham for the analogy here, okay? Whichever one you like. But in my household, growing up, even though we all like turkey, we pretty much only ever ate it on Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, let's just say your mom or your grandma make this bomb ass turkey, right? She makes just fire ass turkey or ham every year on Thanksgiving. Imagine instead of getting that fire ass turkey that's so special to you every year on Thanksgiving, and you know, having like all these you know, moments like you're spending time with the family and creating these memories, and you're having this very special dinner and blah blah blah. You only get this one time a year, whatever, right? So imagine you normally get that, but instead of having like that very special Thanksgiving dinner once a year, you instead start doing it every single month. But wait, not only is it every single month, you're not actually spending it's not actually your grandma making the turkey no more. She's actually like outsourcing it to some random chef she found online, and you know what I'm saying, and then just serving it to y'all. And then also like half the family is not actually showing up anymore because it's just like, I'll catch the next one, but then they never do. You know what I mean? It's like, Lotus is back. Yeah, I got the hair out. They're definitely going for quantity over quality for sure, which again, like I can't stress enough that it's not that like I'm opposed to like other countries having opportunities or tournaments or anything like that, because it really doesn't matter to me in terms of like I don't care if Evo's not prestigious anymore. Like Evo doesn't do, you know, like Evo was cool, like it was a dope event. I watched it every year. I went a few times. I had a great time. But like to me, it's not important that Evo remains like the king of all tournaments or has to be the most prestigious thing in the world. You know what I'm saying? So it's not about that. And I think a lot of niggas are getting that like misconstrued online. It's more so that like Evo as you know it is going to cease to exist. So then it will only be Evo in title. So it's not nearly as good as of an opportunity or as a thing as you probably are hoping it would be. Yeah, and then another thing as well, right? A big thing about Evo is like you get like these big reveals and like announcements and stuff as well. You know what I'm saying? Almost like a state of play or a direct or showcase or something. You know what I'm saying? you lose that completely from most of those events because it's just not possible, right? You're just not gonna have like announcements for all your major titles if you're doing an Evo like every fucking month. You know what I'm saying? And that's a big aspect that people look forward to every single year. You know what I mean? That's just one thing that's like one drop in the bucket. Like, okay, well that goes out the window for most of those events right away. Hope events like CEO and Combo Breaker don't shift any plans because of this. At least I enjoy those events. So I have some thoughts I want to share on that as well, right? Because I've seen a lot of people express their displeasure with Evo for selling out to, you know, Saudi Arabia. And again, understandably so. You know, I don't judge anyone for having those thoughts or feelings or no longer wanting to support or go to Evo. Like that makes sense to me. However, I saw a lot of those same people saying like, oh, guess Combo Breaker's the only good event left, or guess I'll only be supporting CEO, or like, you know, stuff like that. But I'm like, here's my thing with that is that aren't Jabali and Rick Hado, the people who, you know, founded and run those events, also heavily involved with Saudi Arabia, and like, didn't they help with EWC and shit like that? Also, Rick was part owner of Evo, who had already partially sold out before completely selling out. And like, you know what I'm saying? And it's not even just like to throw shade at them niggas, but it's like, if your moral standing, like if like whether or not you fuck with Evo anymore is dependent on that, then like, shouldn't you also not fuck with Evo and Combo Breaker anymore either, because of what Jabali and Rick associate themselves with? You know what I'm saying? Twitter loves virtue signaling. It's a staple on that app. Oh, I know that. I'm well aware. It could just be ignorance, to be fair. See, like, I guess like that is possible, and I would be willing to, you know, accept that if so many people weren't trying to make it seem as though they are so intelligent or like morally upstanding or so much more informed than other people, like when they make these proclamations or they do this virtue signaling or they get on their soapbox and make these tweets. It's like, okay, it's like, if this is how you feel and you're so, you know, tapped into this type of thing and you have these opinions, then like, you know what I mean? So like, where do we draw the line? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm pretty sure Jabali, like I don't think they could have done EWC without him, right? Like, wasn't he heavily involved in like the organization and like helping them run it and everything? Like, let me not say too much because I don't fully know the scope of like what he did with that event, but I know he definitely helped and was involved, which is another event that a lot of people, you know, were strongly against because they're just like, oh, like, hope y'all are okay with the blood money or the, you know, the Saudi money, like hope it's worth blah blah. You know what I'm saying? There were some players and commentators and basically anybody who was involved with that event that faced scrutiny from the public for, you know, being part of that. Which honestly, I didn't even really like myself. Like, I don't claim to be the most politically aware or informed person either, right? And I didn't even really take it into consideration at the time because like I watched the event and like no one in my chat really like said anything to me. I don't know if there's somebody who quietly thought very differently of me for like supporting the event by like restreaming it and stuff, right? Like watching EWC. But it's something that like I just like, I don't know, like it wasn't on my timeline, niggas talking about that, so I never even really thought about it. And I was just like, oh yeah, fighting game tournament, which is probably the case for a lot of people, but I can't give you that because like I could give you that pass because I'm like, oh yeah, like true, like you just might not have known any better or thought about it or just, you know what I'm saying? Because it's one of those things like when it don't affect you, like unfortunately a lot of times niggas, myself included, like you just don't really think about it or consider it, right? Like I don't live in Saudi Arabia, so I never even really thought about all the, you know, everything that comes with that, you know what I'm saying, with that event being there and the sports watching aspect of it. Like it didn't really cross my mind until I seen other people talking about it. And I could give you that excuse for not knowing, you know what I'm saying, if you weren't pretending to be a nigga who knows. FGC claiming to be so kind and welcoming, but being sellouts for money. Well, we already know the FGC is full of gigantic hypocrites. I'm not really surprised at all. What's the lore? The lore with what? It was good, Samurai Ghost. Why is it bad for Evo? I wouldn't even know where to begin with trying to explain that situation to you. I guess, like, I mean, you really would have to like start doing your own research on it, and there's like a lot to explain if you just have no understanding of it at all. But basically, a lot of people do not support Saudi Arabia because of the nature of their government and the types of rights or lack thereof that people have over there, including like women in particular, and just kind of the hostile nature of a lot of things. And you know, there's a lot of moral and ethic reasons to not align with them or to support things that are funded by their government. And that's not to say that, oh, here in the US where everything's peachy, you know what I'm saying, because it's not, you know what I'm saying. But you know, a lot of people do not do not support that. And Evo essentially sold out to Saudi Arabia. Now they are in full ownership of Evo and are now expanding and doing all these different events. And you know, they're calling it sports washing. And like I said, it's a lot. But basically, it's like, you know, niggas do not fuck with the Saudi Arabian government for moral and ethic reasons that involve, you know, the lack of human rights. And yeah, so you know. FGC is made up with such a large amount of LGBTQ plus individuals. Yeah, and I don't know. It's so like, why would they even think that people would be okay with that? Because money. I mean, that's the obvious answer, right? It's just all about money. Truth be told, the FGC and just like tournaments in general have not been the same since COVID. And it never really recovered. And it really does look like the fighting game community as we know it is just dying out. Not to be like some super doomer shit, but like we've already lost so many events and regionals, right? Like so many locals and regionals just completely died off after COVID. And now even like some of the bigger events are being affected. And then you have Evo, the biggest event of all time, that's, you know, completely sold out now, which is like, I don't know. And especially with the economy being the way that it is, money is now more than ever people's like biggest and most important like goal, you know what I'm saying? Like, which I get, because I mean, shit is really, really bad right now for a lot of people. I mean, shit, I feel it. I got 1 out of 15 on my daily sub goal right now. Granted, I've been live for 30 minutes and it's 5 in the morning, but you know what I'm saying? Think about to have to put the fries in the bag. But I mean, we already knew, you know, I feel like the FGC always pounds its chest about, oh, community and this and grassroots and welcoming this and we're so kind and, you know, support each other, love it, blah, 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 blah. But then you have the biggest event in the world sold out to something like that. It is not very, you know, it's just, I don't know. I had to move states simply because minimum wage wasn't enough. I get it. I get it. Shit, I'm pretty sure minimum wage where I live is still $7.25, which is just not a livable wage for literally anybody. You can barely afford to feed yourself on a regular basis if you still live at home with your parents making $7.25 an hour. People will say we are in the golden age of fighting games. Nah, I don't think we are. I think we're actually in a dark era for fighting games. Especially if you're talking about the events and community. Glad I can catch a stream while I'm getting ready for work. Sure. Appreciate you for being here. I can only speak from stories of the other players in my region, but here in SW, known for Smash, we pushed 60 people for locals, 150 for regionals. When I joined post-COVID, 25 was like a big local, and then a regional may hit 75. Yeah, I mean, like, Delirium, thank you for the raid. I greatly appreciate it. Welcome everyone to the Village and the Flowers. I'm Lotus Asakura, the one who never knows best. Hanakage Panagakure. Hope you had a good stream. But yeah, you know, there's just a lot of events that just like, they got a lot weaker or they died. It became one of those things where, you know, the big events, you know, Combo Breaker, Evo, CEO, like they still were able to have, you know, large events, but everything else kind of like suffered drastically. Obviously when Street Fighter 6 dropped, you had like the biggest Evo of all fucking time. It was like 10,000 plus people with like 7,000 people entering Street Fighter. It was nuts, right? But you're not really seeing that like trickle down and benefit like smaller events. Had to show love. I appreciate it. Game wise, the FGC is doing okay, but everything else is definitely not great. Even game wise, it's not like doing incredible. It was doing alright. Me anyway. I've wondered if it's going to be one of those things where, you know, it seems like esports has constantly shown for the last several years that it is not a profitable business and that it's not really worth investing in. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, these niggas are businesses and they care about their bottom dollar, right? And they're trying to make money. And so we've seen it time and time again. Esports organizations pop up, come and go, disband, events coming and going, dying out. These big tournaments and shit like happen and then don't happen ever again. And we've seen this a lot, right? And then with the whole Evo thing, it seems to me where it's like, you know, this wasn't profitable enough. We sell it off. This person buys a share. These people buy a share. Like Sony had it. They, you know, felt like it wasn't worthwhile or worth the investment or we're losing money. You know what I'm saying? I don't have all the details and information, but then they clearly didn't see it as that valuable of an asset or like it wasn't making enough money, which is why they sold what portion of it they had. And I think you're going to see it again with this, where it's like eventually niggas gonna be like, okay, this shit isn't worth it anymore. And then Evo will just cease to exist entirely. You know what I'm saying? Not even just internally, but also like externally, like, you know what I'm saying? Like it'll just die out. And I wonder if we'll eventually get to a point where like all the major events like die, and then for a while it's just like FGC is just dead, and then it slowly rises from the ashes and gets born anew from like grassroots events and like small locals and everything like that, and eventually something grows and it you know, and it would take a very long time for that to happen, like years, you know what I'm saying? Like I might not even give a fuck about fighting games by the time that shit actually happens. It might take decades. But I wonder if like that's the timeline we're currently, or like the path we're currently going down, where, you know, it's all going to get taken over by, you know, these bigger entities. They'll destroy it, and then we'll have to rebuild from the ground, like from scratch all over again. When do you think it would die? I don't know. When the powers that be decide that it's just not worth the money that they're investing. profitable for dev back stuff. League of Legends and Valorant are still huge for Riot. CS still seems to be hitting, and Siege still has a competitive scene. You're talking about the absolute exceptions to and the anomalies, like the biggest of the biggest of the biggest. You know what I mean? I think the grassroots events and FGC's strength, it has remained a prideful yet constant thorn in its side. Wait, what has remained a constant yet prideful thorn? Thorn in whose side? I think those games are successful esports because it's team-based. It's way, way, way deeper than that. How long have I been playing Tekken for? Could you be more specific with your question? Like tonight, or like in my lifetime, or like Tekken 8, or like in general, man? Oh, well, I've been playing Tekken since I was a kid. Like my first ever Tekken was Tekken 3, but I didn't like start trying to actually learn Tekken and like get really good at it. You know what I'm saying? Like actually become a fighting game player until 7. But I grew up playing Tekken 3, 4, 5, tag. And then I even went back and played 1 and 2 as a kid. My first one was 3, but I went back and played 2 and 1 eventually as well, back in the day. Which I own all of them at this point. I have every Tekken game. I'm new to the FGC and you telling me I might be in the downfall? I mean, potentially. But, you know, it's not like you really have much to lose, I guess. If you're having fun, I guess that's the most important thing. But my first was 4. 4 is a good one. I think Xiaoyu is a really cool character that's only as annoying as the person playing them is. So like if the person that's playing them is an annoying bitch, then like Xiaoyu's gonna feel like an annoying bitch. But if the nigga playing them is sick, then you're gonna think Xiaoyu is sick. I think that's kind of like my opinion on this character, because I usually think she's pretty cool. But every once in a while you run into a player that's like, this nigga is just like their objective and their goal is to be as annoying as fucking possible. And then that's when you start to think that like Xiaoyu is really annoying. Nigga said tag 2 on the Wii U. That's nuts. Your first Tekken being on the Wii U is crazy. This connection sucks. Most of Mortal Kombat kits, I never really touched Tekken. It always looked cool though. Yeah, I've always liked Tekken way more than Mortal Kombat. Also, they can have that win streak. That connection was very bad. I think I'm good off the 4-bar Wi-Fi with 3 frames of rollback. You can have it, player.
Get ready for the next battle.
Oh, you know what I should figure out? I need to figure out my low parry combo, because like what I've been doing can't be the best that you can do. It used to be a hard Soul Calibur stand, but that franchise doesn't exist anymore. Excuse me, sorry. Yeah, with how 6 ended up going, I don't really know if there'll be another Soul Calibur. Even 6, like I was genuinely very shocked when it happened. But I don't know, if DOA can get another game and Virtua Fighter can come back, I guess it's not over for Soul Calibur either. Oh, niggas writing a lot. I've a long wait trying to truly think out my response. The natural growth of the FGC has built a real community around its games, yes. While the online has definitely built an image, the local scene feel, even at big events, has always, to me, been the strength of this community. I think that is vastly overrated in the FGC, but I mean, I somewhat agree. However, the lack of dev support to these events and the scene surrounding it has stunted its growth, in my honest opinion. I guess well, I mean, maybe they'd be even bigger and better with proper dev support, but I mean, I feel like you've gotten that, you know, with things like world tours and, well, I guess it depends on what you mean by like dev support. Like what does dev support look like to you? Is that like, you know, constant updates to the game? Is that content? Is that, you know, money into tournaments? Is that them doing their own world tours? Because I mean, a lot of the stuff they have been doing, compared to like the Smash scene, for example, where Nintendo was actively trying to kill their scene as opposed to support it. Tekken 3 was the first one I played, and eventually also played Mortal Kombat. I never really got into Street Fighter. I mean, same, like I played Street Fighter 4 back in the day, but like not really, you know what I mean? I think dev support is generally fine, at least for the bigger games. Arc World or whatever it's called is next month, speaking of that. Yeah, I haven't really been keeping up with the Arc Revo shit at all. I'll be honest, I think I really enjoyed watching Guilty Gear. Like I obviously really enjoyed playing Guilty Gear when it came out. You know, I played it pretty heavily for several months. And then when I would go to tournaments, it was probably my favorite game to watch for a while. It was just like really hype. But the Strive community has like turned into something that I just don't want to be a part of, associated with, or around in any capacity. And then also a lot of the players that I gave a fuck about don't play that game anymore either. So, you know, there's still a few, you know, shout out my dog Nitro. But a lot of people that made it like hyper exciting, like that us don't touch that game anymore. And then some of the top players that were touching the game ended up being, you know, weirdos and losers who touch kids or fucking, you know, grope people without their consent, and or, you know, other things of that nature, or lie about somebody sexually assaulting them and shit like that. So it's just a lot of, you know what I mean? Just a lot of stuff like that where I'm just like, you know what, maybe I just stay far away from Strive niggas. Which is a shame, because I fuck with, you know, Lord Knight and Nitro so much that I hate that they're associated with them niggas. But, you know. Have you ever tried getting Squad to do a Tekken 8 video? Man, have I. If Dez could only do one thing to fix Season 3, what would you choose? You know what's funny about this question is that I actually, prior to starting the stream, I was actually working on my Season 3 wishlist video of all the changes that I would like to see. So I have a bunch of stuff written down here in my notepad actually that I want to see change. But if I could only pick one, what would it be? Yeah, Yozo, like I said those things that I said because like I wasn't making up random examples. Like those are all real things that happen. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, because we're thinking of the same people. Like I was thinking of people without saying the names. You know what I'm saying? Those are real things that happen in that community. See, I don't know, because there's so many changes that this game could use in order to make it a much better product and experience. But what's most important to me? So it wouldn't be one change necessarily. It'd be one thing that would get changed, but that one thing requires several changes to it. And I think that would make the game a lot better. And that's with Heat Burst. So one of the things that I have written down is that I want Heat Burst to be like reworked a lot. Honestly, a lot of players have been saying that they should just remove Heat Burst, and I wouldn't be mad at that. You could remove Heat Burst from this game, and I don't think it makes the game worse. I don't know if it makes it better straight out the gate, but I'd probably lean more towards that, right? I don't think they're ever going to remove it. I think people need to understand and accept that Heat is a system in this game that is not going anywhere. Maybe in Tekken 9, Heat won't be a thing, but Tekken 8 is going to have Heat no matter what, and all of its systems as well when it comes to Heat Dash, Heat Burst, like those Heat Smashes, those aren't going anywhere. At best, they'll be tweaked, modified, adjusted, reworked, or whatever. But with Heat Burst, I think it should have even less tracking. I think it should be more linear, more steppable. They adjusted it before. I think it still needs more adjustment. It should have less range as well. I'm tired of characters like Asuka and Brian still reaching me from what feels like half the screen, you know what I'm saying, with their heat bursts. I think that needs to be reduced. A lot of people also think that heat bursts should not bound like this, to where you still get your tornado. And what that would do is it would make it so that combos are shorter, which has been a big topic of conversation for a while now in Tekken 8, because people say that combos are too long and people have like way too much wall carry and things like that. And it will reduce damage as well, just because combos get shorter. I wouldn't be opposed to that. Maybe if like heat burst just like spiked you down so that all you got instead was just like, you just got like a follow-up as opposed to like getting a full combo. That wouldn't necessarily be a bad idea to me either. I also just don't like this, like the slow down and the zoom in. I think this game is way too cinematic. You know what I mean? I get it. They're trying to create a more cinematic and exciting experience for spectators and shit, or I guess for the casual player. But shit like this, just like heat smash is like one thing, but just like that, just like, you know, just I don't know. It would be so much better to me if you didn't get those little like cutscenes and shit. I think this game has too much stuff like that with all the sparks and freeze frames and, you know what I mean? Like, it's too much. I probably think if you focus your efforts on heat burst, you could do a lot of good for the game by adjusting that mechanic specifically. Is that like the most important thing to adjust? I don't know, but like off the top of my head, that'd probably be the one. Like if I could adjust one thing, I feel like you could do the most with that in order to improve the game compared to so many other things. Heat burst bounding a character that's damn near already on the fucking ground shortens my lifespan. Yeah, so like I feel like there's so many situations as well where I definitely think I'm on the ground. Like I think my back is on the pavement and I still get caught by the heat burst and they're able to extend the combo. I'm like, come on. I will say though, a lot of players have really big issues with combo length and combo damage, and I really don't for the most part. And maybe it's because I come from more of like the anime game side, but I think long combos are cool. I like doing combos. I think combos are really fun. To me, like combos are one of the most fun parts about fighting games. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm one of those, I'm not like a combo artist or anything like that. Like I don't really come up with my own combos that much, and I don't even be doing optimal shit, but I like seeing it and I like performing the ones that I can do. So for me in Tekken 8, I think the bigger issue when it comes to combos is the fact that they take so much time relative to how long a round is. If we compare it to like DBFZ, which we always do, right? And DBFZ it's obviously a very, very different game, so you can't really compare it, but it's like, it's not a round based system, right? So, you know, it's 3v3, you have 3 health bars. If one character's in a combo for 10 to 20 seconds, which isn't that crazy in a game like that, it's like, okay, well, I've got multiple other characters to come from, or to, you know, to use or whatever. If this one dies or is low health, I can swap out to. And also like we have 300 seconds on the clock, you know what I'm saying? In Tekken, there's 60 seconds in a round, and especially with the health bars being buffed to have even more health, like you might be in a combo for 10 seconds, 15 seconds maybe at times. Like it happens, and like the round ends due to timeout because you just don't have enough time to make the comeback. Like I've had that happen a lot. I feel like the last few days. I say a lot. It's probably happened a handful of times, but it's something that's way more common than it used to be. You know what I mean? I don't have a problem with high damage in Tekken, and I don't think most people would either. It is more so the amount of time you spend in the combo, which doesn't necessarily bother me outside of the fact that if you're in a combo for so long, you have that much less time to play the game in that round because rounds are only 60 seconds. But if you were to take away the extra 20 health that characters have, that wouldn't be as big of an issue. I think, like we talked about this before, I think it's pretty lame that timeouts happen so much more often than they do, or than they used to now in Tekken 8. But it's also interesting because like it kind of defeats their whole like MO with this game, where they want aggression and offense and excitement and things happening and people dying, you know what I mean? But it's like you get some rounds where like niggas do not die, and part of that is because the increased health and the average length of combos. But it's not. But the thing is, to me, the issue isn't the amount of hits. It's not even the amount of damage, because Tekken has always been a high damage game. Now the hits definitely are way more than it used to be, right? And you could do stuff like, again, like one of the other things I have talks about like strong Euro tailspin and how there should only be one per combo, right? But Tekken's historically been high damage. The hits are higher, whatever, but it's the amount of time you're in the combo that I think is the issue if we were to pinpoint it to me. You know, I find it very satisfying to pull off combos. You know what I'm saying? Like doing a long combo feels good. And truth be told, I don't know how many people agree with this, but for me, being hit by a really long combo does not irritate me or bother me or annoy me or frustrate me nearly as much as so many other things in this game. Like being in a long combo is kind of like inoffensive compared to some of the other shit that you have to deal with in the game. You know what I mean? I get way more annoyed by things like the string tracking or the heat bursts or the egregious amount of plus frames on certain moves than I do by being in like a dumbass long combo. You know what I mean? I know not everyone agrees with that because I've seen some like, you know, top players speak on it, but you know. Someone dropped that vid of like 7 Tekken 6 combos in the same time it takes Lady to do a full combo. But see, and that's the other thing as well, is that like another reason why combos are so much longer in this game is because of all the cinematic shit. You know what I mean? Like Lydia has like all these, she's got like the fucking, what is it a hit grab? Is it a, I don't really know, the flip kick thing that she does, you know what I'm saying? Like it's, you have all these like cinematic moves and shit that slow it down even more. Yeah, forward, 4-3. Yeah, and Fox little corny ass, stupid ass, like he does the kick or whatever, and then he walks up to you all menacing. That shit's lame as fuck. Like, it's just, we need less stuff like that in Tekken, not more. Like some of it here and there is fine, like it's cool, but it's just like, I think this game overdoes it. Like a lot.
Get ready for the next battle.
Anything visually about the game you want changed? Yeah, I think the overall visual effects in the game could stand to be toned down a lot. I think there's way too much visual noise on screen a lot of times. Clive is really the only time I have issues with that. He is the biggest offender by far. And truth be told, I really didn't mind most of the visual effects that much until he got added to the game. But he kind of like decreased my tolerance for that shit. You'd think like you would get used to something like that and it would increase it, but no, he made me like even more aware of like how much shit like that is in the game that I don't like. But he's by far the biggest offender in my opinion. He's the reason why I toned down like the setting to the lowest setting in the game. Which I don't know how much of a difference it really made ultimately, but any fighter you just don't like fighting against? Plenty. I fucking hate Alyssa with all my heart. I hate fighting Nina. I've really grown to hate fighting Steve, I'm not gonna lie. I used to think Steve was so cool. This game has made me really sour on Steve. Surprised I haven't heard Asuka yet. I don't really hate Asuka. I mean, she's really dumb and really strong, but I like Asuka. I mean, she's a really fucked up character that needs nerfed a lot, but like I don't hate fighting her. I think Asuka's another one of those characters, like she's only as annoying to fight as the person piloting her. Like if you have somebody who's just like mindlessly like mashing parries and sabakis all the time, like yeah, that can be kind of annoying, but Asuka, like the strength of that character does not frustrate me. And character strength usually isn't the thing that annoys me about a character. Not saying it never happens, but it's usually not like why I dislike somebody. Cause like I don't hate Alyssa because I think she's broken. I think she's fucking obnoxious and doesn't belong in my goddamn video game. Stupid ass bot. I feel that, Ash. I think I could agree with that a little bit as well. Is your Hua God too? I've already been moving, going by your last video. No, Hua was at Tekken God Supreme. He was 1 rank away. I might play him some tonight, but I don't think I'll be playing any ranked. Never been annoyed playing against characters like Lars or Huo, even when I didn't understand how to fight against them. I completely understand why people find Huarong as frustrating as they do. But my thing has always been to like, sometimes I hear people talk about him and like what they dislike about him, and then they say shit that applies to like almost every character in the game. Oh, it's the fucking Wi-Fi link again. I just need to not accept Wi-Fi, man. This is quick match. It doesn't matter that much. Yeah, we're starting at 83 ping. My God. Run up Snake Edge is crazy. I cannot believe they just did that and it worked. Wake up launcher, okay. This is one of those really obnoxious ass lane players I was talking about, by the way. Versus playing like an asshole. Oh my God, this person is such a dickhead. You think they should change the range matchmaking system? Yes, I do, and they are. Wow, that went really far. They just be doing shit? Yeah, no, this Link player is like going out of their way to just be a jackass. Yo, Nano, what are you doing up at this hour? Do not know, man. I do not know. Yeah, same. Thank you for the raid. Hopefully your stream went well, though. What were you up to? I value my mental health way too much to run multiple games against somebody being that much of a dickhead.
Get ready for the next battle.
Maybe I should just get off Tekken, actually. I don't really have anything else I feel like doing, though.
Nothing amazing happens here. Everything is ordinary.
Yo, Good Guy Fallen, thank you for the 2 months. I greatly appreciate it. You value your mental health, but you're playing Tekken? It doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? You're gonna play the upcoming Marvel game? Marvel Took on Fighting Souls? You don't play Brawlhalla? No, I think platform fighters are... You know what, I don't have to say all that. Platform fighters are not for me. I don't have to be rude. You know, let's try well, actually. Any Shadow the Hedgehog fans in chat?
Get ready for the next battle.
Who's not a Shadow fan? Lame niggas. Gonna be copying Nano's haircut. Good luck with that. Won't look as good as on you as it does on him, but you know, stream it this hour. Yeah, I don't know, man. My life's all over the place. That nigga's named Dr. Taunt Jet Ussi. Tekken players have a regular name challenge impossible. Watching Lotus sitting in class is peak. Where do you live where you're in class right now? You streaming the Pokemon Presents tomorrow? Assuming that I'm awake, yes. My plan is to stream the Pokemon Presents and then start a playthrough of Pokemon Leaf Green. Don't ask me what that combo was, I couldn't tell you. What a combo. Yeah, sorry, I'm not very good at the game. He didn't announce the Conquest Switch port. Never played Conquest. Lotus on Tekken, love to see it, you know. He'll get Brock's badge and never stream the game again. That's a very real possibility. The title doesn't say no anger, so can I expect it? Potentially. You like horror games? Nah. Horror as a genre in general does not interest me, whether it be books, movies, or games, or other. Nice. Good punish. Do I have enough time to get to Tekken King with while I'm at Bushin? Yeah, I mean, season 3 doesn't start for like... Fuck. It doesn't start for like 3 weeks. You can do that in one sitting. That's one rank. You got nothing but time, actually. Nigga's pressing a lot. Is there a leaderboard for Tekken? Yeah. Just walk up while standing 1? I get all the weirdos when I play. Who the fuck does walk up while standing 1? I mean, I should have known the nigga was a weirdo. I saw his name from the jump. I also did not think that heat burst was going to hit, but I should know better. Game was so good on release. I don't think it was, actually. I would argue that the game is probably about equally as good now as it was on release. Oops. We're going back to the basics. Yeah, we'll see about that. That was supposed to be forward, forward, forward. Another misinput. What are these combos, man? Thank God Power Crush heat engagers are gone. Bro, who are you telling? That shit was so stupid. Did you put Street Fighter 6 over Tekken 8 or vice versa in terms of... Personal favorite? Well, I like Tekken way more than I like Street Fighter, just in general. As far as which game is in a better state, I honestly am not tapped in enough to the Street Fighter scene or streamers or creators or players to really say if their game's in a better state in terms of like there definitely are things Street Fighter does that's a lot better. Like obviously the game is more popular, you know what I mean? I think they have a much better like rank system. But when we're talking about like gameplay, I mean they've got their fair share of flaws as well. Like I'm the only person who likes both equally. I mean, yeah, they tend to. Street Fighter is not like Street Fighter and Tekken don't tend to be games with like a lot of crossover. I don't know what's good with my combos right now, man. Don't look at me, y'all. Wish Tekken Cross Street Fighter happened, man. That would have been lit. I never played Street Fighter Cross Tekken. I don't know how much I would have enjoyed Tekken Cross Street Fighter, but I imagine I would have liked it. Maybe I wouldn't have though, because you bring up a good point. Because I did not like fucking Akuma and Geese and shit running around in Tekken 7, but it would have been different though, because they were doing shit that not everybody could do. But like when the whole game was designed around it being a crossover, I think it would have been more tolerable, and I just would have perceived it differently. Played 2XKO when it first came out. Not really for me though. Was Akuma base roster in Tekken 7? Yeah. Dude. I don't know where my brain is right now. These combos are terrible. Holy flash dot. Isn't Akuma canon to the story? He is now, somehow. No, the highest rank in the game is God of Destruction Infinity, which is several ranks above where I am. So, the rank after me, well, I have one character that has a rank higher than this, which is God of Destruction. That used to be the highest rank, but they added new ranks. Where Law's like top 10. Yeah, I agree. You know, the highest rank in the game is God of Destruction Infinite, but I do have a character that is just regular God of Destruction.
Round one. Fight.
Ouroboros Infinite, it's the same thing. Yo, I don't know like what's good to me in these combos right now. My combos are already bad enough without me fucking them up this bad. Got him. You're grinding for that rank? Nah, I'm not even playing ranked right now. These are just quick matches. I always think that throw's going away from him, it just doesn't.
Round three. Fight.
Dude, like I don't know, like where's my head at to where like I'm doing shit like that when I get this down 4-2 to connect.
Nothing amazing happens here. Everything is ordinary.
Yo, Tino, thank you for the 4 months. I greatly appreciate it.
Round four. Fight.
Well, that was a misinput.
Final round. Fight.
Dude. I don't know what's good with me in these combos right now, man. I don't know why I can't. Ugh. I mean, I probably shouldn't be playing Tekken at 6 in the morning. That's probably a pretty good reason why. I also just haven't been playing Quo at all. I've just been playing Meowdy. I don't know how people can play multiple characters, man. I feel like if I don't stick to one, I just completely forget how to play the other. You know what I mean? Yo, beautiful Dolly, welcome to the stream. That just should not have hit, man. All right, I'm done after this. I'm done after this. These combos are hurting my soul. I did it again. Oh my god, I don't remember how to do combos. You coming back for Fighters Diamond DLC? No. I will never play Dragon Ball Fighters again. Dude, now it's becoming muscle memory all of a sudden for me to like just do these terrible combos. Is there any lore? Lore to what? Any single player games you play just to like chill? Right now, nothing. But generally speaking, like I really like RPGs. Not playing fighters again? Oh, yeah, the game really fucking sucks. And I don't have fun playing it. Nigga did orbital there. He's mashed power crush there like every single time. And the one time I went for a low, he did an orbital. That's crazy. 108 damage is nuts. 108 damage for the nigga mashing orbital after getting hit by a heat burst is crazy, bro. Holy. Why can't I do combos anymore, dude? I would have 5-0'd this guy if I knew how to do a fucking combo. Oh my god. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. I'm playing like ass. I hate watching playing Brian. I hate watching Brian players online. I can't read, I can't do combos. I don't know my left from my right. I'm worthless. Oh, brother. How do you like the upcoming DLC characters? I'm a really big Kunimitsu fan, but if it wasn't for her, I would think that this upcoming season pass is the worst season pass in the history of fighting games. And I'm not exaggerating. Bob and Roger is so unbelievably lame. But hey, it's a lot of niggas out there excited. So, you know, I got the one that I wanted, so it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Every character don't gotta be to my standard or my liking. I got the one that I really wanted, so I'm happy. But Lord knows I don't give a fuck about them other two. And the fourth character is most likely going to be a guest character who I'm also not going to like or give a fuck about, but that's okay. Unless they're broken, in which case, you know. They won't be so excited anymore once Roger hits. Yeah, I think so too. Could have been worse. That Australia could have been Marduk. I don't really think Roger is that much better. They confirmed no guest character? When and where did they do that? Because I never saw that confirmation. Bob is sick? Yikes. Thought the announcer in the trailer said new character. Wait, what? Announcer said new characters is in for Tekken 8. Many people misheard it. I don't even know what you're talking about. You have to show me what you mean. The announcer said new character. I mean, I have to go back and watch the trailer. What are y'all? We're talking about the season 3 like reveal trailer, right? I like Super Smash Bros. No, I'm actually very much a Smash Bros. Hater, actually. Let's pull this trailer up real quick. Where's my mouse? Guess you talking about once they start showing characters, right? Okay, so let's start with the Kunimitsu shit. At the end, I guess we could just skip ahead. I just didn't want to like miss it. Okay, so you get Kunimitsu, right? Then you get Bob.
Season 3. New character.
Wait, so people took the announcer saying that as a confirmation that this is not a guest character? Wait, what? I don't. Yeah. Bro, she's deadass just reading what's written here at the top. She said season 3 new characters. How do you interpret that as literally? I didn't even think of that, because like when I watched this in real time, I was like, yeah, season 3 new characters. Like what type of like what's going on to where you could interpret that as literally anything else? What? That shit don't tell you nothing at all about who this 4th character is, even remotely. It might be a Tekken character, it might be a guest character, it might be who the fuck. Bro, what? That's such a non, like, what? Man, if y'all don't stop playing on my phone. Bro, what? Either way, a guest character would still be a new character. Yeah, even if it was, like, bro, the more I think about it, the more idiotic that shit is, because like, it ain't like they said season 3 new Tekken character, like, or they didn't even specify Tekken, so that could be like, it could be anything still. That gives you zero information. Y'all gonna piss me off, actually. If the color is pink like the words are, who do we think it is? My first thought was Lucky Chloe. Yo, Skonk, what's good with you, homie? I mean, like, if we're going under the impression that it's a returning Tekken character, which I don't think it is, because if it was, I think they would have just shown it. Like, I believe it will be a guest character. It's either a guest character. Here's what I'll say. I am 100% confident it is not a returning character. If it was another returning character, I'm pretty sure they would have shown who it is. It is either an entirely new character like Miyauri-Zu, or it is a guest. It's one of those two. I'm pretty confident about that. It was good, Yudi. Oh, Skonk, hold up. You peeped the new drip? You peeped the new drip, bro? How you doing? You know. With Miyauri? Indeed. Indeed. Now you have to get Will there. You know, it's fucked up because I definitely thought I was going to get him there first. But what I've learned, I got my Reina God one today. Hell yeah. What I learned is that Miyauri-Zu is just significantly easier and way less stressful than Huo and Reina. And so playing her was just, it's just more fun. I'm just like, it's just not nearly as stressful. Like, this game is already very stress inducing, and Huo and Reina are specialist characters that I'm just not good enough to really like fully utilize. And like, I guess that would apply to any character, right? But like, these niggas are actually really fucking hard. Like, lets people know the matchup for Miyauri. Nah, I disagree. I think from my experience, the matchup people are the least familiar with is Huo out of the 3 characters I play. With Miyauri-Zu, like, I fought a decent amount of people who like, they were ducking and launching certain strings. And I feel like with Huo, people get overwhelmed pretty easily in comparison to her, where like, I had some matches like, we could spoil, we could spoil a video real quick. I have all my matches recorded from like my grind to getting the rank up. Like, if we go to one of these, there's like, and I ran into multiple players like this. If my file explorer would load instead of buffering. I think Hwadong out of the 3 characters I play is the easiest to be bad with and still win, and Miyauri is the easiest to be solid with and win, if that makes sense. So slight spoilers for a future video, because this is the video where I actually do rank up. But like, we look at like this Armor King player, I'll be back on my next one. Armor King. Their name is Lag. Don't like that. Don't like the fact the name is LAG and they're on Wi-Fi. Oh man. Hey, that round started 3-2 though. Uh-oh, we're in trouble. Like out the gate off rip, nigga just said, I know exactly what you about to do. Launch my ass. And this was probably one of the best players I fought in terms of defense, which is why he's the first example that comes to mind. But it was a few players I fought that like were pretty familiar with some of her strings, and like if they blocked the Merengue 4-3, they were launch punishing me. If they saw me go in the stance, they blocked the mid and then ducked the high. There was like a Brian player who was really good at that as well. There was a few niggas I fought like this who like I couldn't just run string offense, and like I couldn't just autopilot the stance 50-50s because like they knew the counterplay. Or like 3-2. Like I use 3-2 a lot when I play Miati, but like there were players like this who like they were ducking and launching before that. If they're ducking that, we are in some trouble. Elmo is pissed. There's gonna be trouble. Unless somebody gets over here right now and sucks on Elmo's furry red. My fault. Hello, boys and girls. Can't find my mouse. I lose my mouse all the time, bro. The biggest struggle with having 3 monitors, first world problem I know, is that I lose my mouse all the fucking time. Anyway, yeah, nah, there were a bunch of players. I got ducked and launched way more playing Miati than any other character for sure. And yeah, their name was Lag. Did he react to the string, or was he default ducking to Merengue? No, he was reacting. That player. So that's the thing. I talk about it in some of those videos as well. So for example, right? This is a very common thing that came up a lot with playing Miati Zoo. So, like I said, I think people are way more familiar with her matchup than the other 2 characters I play. So I use this string a lot. 3-2, 13 frame heat engager, right? Really good range. What do you get from like? Yeah, from like 2.5 you still hit, and like 2.6. Yeah, from about 2.5, 2.6 you still reach with this bitch. And it's safe on block. But the high, well, the punch is a high and it's 26 frames, so like that is reactable and you can duck it and launch punish it. And there were some players like that Armor King who actually, and I fought like a Steve and a Brian. Like I fought a few players who like actually genuinely could like duck that and react. However, what I was doing a lot, what I noticed is that some players actually can't react to it. They were fake reacting to that. But what I mean is they would see me do this kick and then just duck, right? And what I also learned is that they can't tell the difference between 3 and forward 4. So what you'll see happens a lot is I'll do forward 4-2 in neutral or like, you know, whatever, and they'll duck because they think the punch is coming. So there are people who can genuinely react to this. It is reactable, but there are some niggas who are fake reacting and they get blown up by this instead. Yeah, 3-1 is something I need to be doing more just in general or into stance. Forward 4, she has so many good buttons, man. Forward 4 is amazing. I love down 3. 3-1's a good string. 3 in general is just a good button, to be honest. You know a button I didn't use the entire time all the way to my rank up that's really fucking good? Down back 1+2. I completely forgot about this move, to be honest. Did not use it once. From Tekken King up to fucking God of Destruction. Didn't use it once. Forward 2, 1+2 is underrated as well. Yeah, wait, is it 4? Isn't it just 2-2? Is it 1+2? Yeah, it's just this. And that's like really good in heat as well, and I like never used it. Maybe, I don't think I used it once. There's +1+2, I got you. There's some moves I do that with as well, where you only need 1 or 2, and I just do 1+2 for whatever reason. I don't know why, but I used to, I think, actually, you know, a good example, like Reyna's wall combo, like I just mash 1+2 the whole way through. I think you get like a little bit of extra damage if you do it manually, but like, whatever. There was something else I was gonna say about Miati Zoo. I can't remember. But yeah, no, I love this character. I love this character a lot. Unfortunately, it means I'm probably going to not play Reina very much when Kunimitsu comes out, because I don't see myself dropping Huo or Miyari, and I just don't think I'm good enough to play 4 characters. I'm really not good enough to play 3. Y'all saw what the fuck I was just doing. Bro, she's so cool, Skunk, but like I can't electric, bro. So no matter how hard I practice, like I just can't fucking. Granted, I can't fucking skyrocket anymore either, but I say anymore as if I ever could. But like I felt like I was getting the hang of it, and now I lost it again. There we go. Hold on. Damn. You gonna skyrocket? You going electric? Well, the difference is that I feel as though it is a lot less detrimental to my gameplay to not skyrocket than it is to not electric. Do you play on pad? Yeah, I do. Can only electric on heat. Like I can do it, but I'll just never be consistent. Like it's one of the things I've practiced. Like I don't know, man. Like this feels like no matter how hard I try, like I'll just never actually be able to consistently do that shit. And especially like in matches, like I can barely get the hang of it in practice mode, and then when I'm actually in games. Time for that hitbox, bro. I mean, I have leverless controllers. I can do it very consistently on leverless. It's free on leverless. It's dusty. I don't get how people do it like 90% of the time on pad. I don't either, man. Like, this is one of those things, like I practice it all the fucking time and I just can't do it. And like I always liked Mishima characters, especially Jin. And like when I tried to actually get good at Tekken, I would never play them because I couldn't electric. Like I wanted to play Jin or Devil Jin in Tekken 7 so fucking bad, especially being such like a knee fanboy and loving Kudon so much. I wanted to play Devil Jin so bad and I just fucking couldn't, man. I would sit there and practice that shit for hours and I just couldn't get the hang of it. And like, yeah, the easy answer I guess is to just play on leverless then. Like if that's your biggest hang up, just play on leverless and you do it for free. And like, yeah, but like I don't know, man. I don't really want to play on leverless as my main peripheral. Like it's fun for the novelty, but like as far as my actual like main thing, I just prefer playing on pad. How do I reset on this? I don't even remember. The buttons on this thing also aren't labeled, so I'm like trying to remember what all the buttons are and shit. There we go. Bro, if I could just do this on a fucking pad, man. If I could get it even if I was even like 50%, if I could even get it half the time on pad, It would make my life so much easier, but I just fucking can't. Yeah, I know. Like, so it's fun to mess around on and be like, oh shit. Like when Heihachi came out, I deadass was like, you know what? I might just learn how to play this motherfucker like on levelless. Oh, when he came out, like I was playing him on levelless and I was able to do electrics and it was fun, but I don't know. To be on it full time, I just don't think it's for me. I'm just not committed enough as well to be able to like relearn a game I already know how to play on a new device. Switch to levelless, and most people probably should. It'd be worth your while, but you know, only making it harder on yourself if you're doing some shit like playing a character like this and not playing levelless. But wave dashing is even harder for me. Wave dashing is something that like I've gotten better at. Like I can do it on pad. I'm not very good. I've gotten a lot better though. It's also just something that's like way easier on levelless. Yo, Angel, what's good, man? Levelless makes the hard things easy to do in this game, but the easy things so hard to do, such as... Yo, someone tried to tell me in the comments, like they were trying to give me some advice, and they said you could like bind 1+4 to like a shoulder button and it makes doing skyrocket easier. And I was like thinking, does that work? And so I tried it. It does work, but it wasn't consistent. Like, hold on, I'll show you. Because at first I was like, I don't think you can actually get a just frame, like a blue spark. And you can, but I don't know. It wasn't consistent to me.
Get ready for the next battle.
So like if we just take, I don't know, let's just do, what button do I want to use? I guess we'll use L1, it doesn't really matter. And then you do like, see, I was getting down forward 1 a lot. And then sometimes when I would get the skyrocket, it was like not a blue spark. Yeah, I'd never heard of that either. But I just couldn't get it to like happen a lot. There you go. I got one, but yeah, I don't know. It like, I don't know what this person is doing, or like, I mean, it works for them. It works for them, but I don't know. Like it didn't seem like it made it any easier to me. guess it depends on the person because it was super consistent for me. I don't know. I just end up getting down forward 1 the majority of the time. And then even when I do, like after I sat there and did it a bunch, like for a little bit, like I did get a few like blue sparks, but most of the time I would get down forward 1, and then more than half the time when I would actually get a skyrocket, it wasn't a blue spark. So it didn't really work for me too well. And then I was like, well, wait, could you do it with like 3+4 as well? Which I think you can, but again, it's just, you also risk, I did it there. You also risk getting down forward 3+4, which is -14. So like, try 2+3 L1 for Reina Electrics. Sure. Give it a shot.
Get ready for the next
Yo, Ryu, what's good, man? Have you done this before for that, or did you just like, wait, I wonder if this would work? Where is 2+3? I'm blind. Oh, here it is. You can do it. Hold on, that's kind of... Oh, thought I had it. I lost it. This is way more consistent than anything else I've done other than playing on Levelist. I think if I was to actually practice this as being the way that I did Electrics, I could actually do this. Why does that work kind of well? It works very well, actually. Way better than it probably should. It might be better if I did L2 though, instead of L1. L1 is slightly awkward for this, but it's definitely doable. My hands do not like this if it's on L1. Yeah, let me try it on L2. This is crazy. I did not know niggas was cheating like this. But the thing is, as well, is like, I don't even consider this cheating. Like, if niggas is playing on cross-ups and hit boxes and all these different levelist controls, like, this ain't even cheating. You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas is trying to keep up at this point. That's, wow, that's crazy. That's nuts. Remember that one guy I told you about who just maps a whole combo, was trying to flex on me? Yeah, the nigga who had a whole macro set to his shit, like a one button. Can't be that surprising people do that. Like, I guess you're right. It really should be that shocking. Like, I know especially the, like, legitimate cheating is prevalent in Tekken, especially at like higher ranks and stuff. But like in my mind, I still just be thinking niggas is just in the lab like I am, just in training mode, just trying to get good. But nah, niggas is looking for any shortcut they can. Which, like, I use, like, you know, button binds. I just never thought to do it for an electric or a skyrocket till someone in the comments said it. I already have my 2+3 and 1+4 mapped to shoulder buttons anyway, because what else am I going to use the shoulder buttons for? So I usually have 3+4 maps to L2 for Huo, because doing stance transition, or, you know, like doing the, you know, yeah, well, stance transitions are like swapping with 3-4 the way you have to with him is just like way faster that way. So particularly like in combos, like, you know, when I have to like step forward, stance, switch into backlash, like it's just way easier and faster to do it that way as opposed to like multiply, you know, I'm trying to do it with my right thumb by itself is just easier that way. So I specifically, like, my L2 has been 3+4 since Tekken 7, and then I also just mapped 1+2 to R2 because it just also helps sometimes for just any number of things, throw breaking or certain moves, obviously like 1+2, certain combos like Reina's wall ender. I was telling you earlier, like if I just do whatever combo, like this combo, I'm just mashing 1+2 and shit like that, you know what I mean? I don't even remember what the manual input is for that ender. I just mash 1+2 to get it. The only thing that sucks about doing this method is that sometimes I am getting down for it too by mistake, and I don't know how to like prevent that. That's a big difference between getting an electric and a down forward too, which I guess, you know, could happen with any way of you trying to execute an electric, but yeah, for Reina it could happen regardless. So nasty. Wait, what are we talking about? But y'all not ready for Ube to become the new matcha? I know white people be treating matcha like black people treat Hennessy, by the way. It's crazy what they doing with that shit over there. Y'all not ready for gentrified Ube? so tired of people just taking shit, man. All of a sudden Asian shit is okay because they think it's cool now. Fuck off. Story of my life being black. I feel that. Trying to find like a consistent like method of doing this. This is crazy to me. This shit just blew my mind. Want to know something funny I found out while Googling myself? Sure. Instead of doing the QCF input, try just pressing down forward. I'm trying both. The problem with just doing the down forward is that I'm just getting down forward 2 a lot when I do that. What are you even trying to do? Have you never seen Tekken before? You know what an electric wind god fist is, bruh? Someone took the domain unibuddy.com for the illustrations and it was made last year. The name is also Eunice, but like, why take my username? That's a pretty damn good name. Do so why are you doing forward, neutral, down, down, forward, 2 plus 3? Because it works. Nah, niggas was telling me that people be using button binds to do shit like electrics and fucking just stream skyrocket for like Huarong and shit. I'm like, huh, does that even work? Like how the fuck does that work? And so I tried it and I was like, oh wow, it does work, which is like news to me. I didn't know niggas was doing shit like that. You can bind it to like L2. You can bind like 2 plus 3 to L2 and then just do it all with one hand as opposed to doing both hands. And it, like, wow, niggas really out here cheating, bro. That's crazy. Bad player, yeah. Cheating is crazy. It's not actually cheating. Like, I don't, you know, I wouldn't feel no type of way about niggas doing this. Especially with all the different types of controls that exist. Because like I said, I mean, y'all just saw me pull out a levelless controller and then I just did 50 fucking electrics. Like, it's dumb easy. And like, most niggas are playing on levelless these days, so it's like if a nigga is doing a button bind on their pad, like I don't give a fuck. Don't know why it works, but it's cool. You don't know why this makes it easier, or you don't know why using 2 plus 3 allows it to work. Yeah, I just realized characters in this game kind of got hops. She almost jumping over this nigga, bro. That's kind of crazy. You getting up there. I mean, I'm sure Kazuya is not that tall, but even if you do get consistent with this, would you really play 4 characters still? No, probably not. Don't know why 2 plus 3 macro makes it easier. Maybe it's not the macro itself. No, it's not the macro itself. It's the reason this makes it easier is because Well, truthfully, it doesn't even have to be 2 plus 3. You could just put 2 there if you really wanted to, and that would still make it easier. But use 2 plus 3 because you'd still want your regular 2 button to be where all the rest of the buttons are. It makes it easier to do it with one hand just because like timing something with both fingers on the same hand is easier than timing something with 2 different hands. You know what I mean? An electric wind god fist, in order to do it properly, is a just from input, which means that you have to hit down, forward, and 2 at the exact same time. So timing that button press with both hands is harder than doing it with one hand. So if you have a button on the same hand on the same side of the controller, it just makes it easier to do than doing it with both. Once you get occasional accidental heat bursts, you definitely can. But truth be told, I think I've gotten an actual electric more than I've gotten a heat burst. I don't know if this is something I would actually use. I think if you were to practice it enough, you could get good enough to where you wouldn't have that problem. I'm getting electrics more than I'm getting heat burst. Put in a WNBA. I hear dunking on. Anyway, hold on, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go make this pizza real quick because I am starving, and then we might watch some videos or something while I eat, and then I don't know what we'll do after that. I'll be right back. Let me go pop this in the oven. my fault, I'm back. High mobility doesn't mean much in Tokon, I've heard. Well, we'll see what it actually means. The fact that the official Tokon account describes Wolverine as a high mobility rushdown character is wild to me because he did not look like the way in the gameplay. Oh, that actually is somewhat concerning because he did not strike me as high mobility at all either. He in fact looked quite slow. And you know me, like I do value movement. So if that's their idea of high mobility, I think I will struggle to find a character that really fits the way I want to play that game. Trying to find a YouTube video to watch. Hope we get Moon Knight and Blade in the Ghost Rider team trailer. So I've been working on doing a roster prediction video, and I've been putting in a lot of time and effort into it, way more than I originally thought I would, just because I don't know that much about Marvel and comics and the characters in the world and stuff, right? So I've been doing a lot of reading, a lot of watching videos, trying to like learn more and like trying to make an actual coherent roster with some real thought behind it. And the more research I do, the more difficult it becomes. This is weird because like Star-Lord is the one that fucks everything up and like makes the teams weird. Want to watch some King Shrats videos? I see a nigga try some cookies and shit. Doing it live might help. Maybe. I mean, I've already done a lot. It's almost at the point where I think I could record it. I have a list. I just don't know if it's final now. But kind of didn't want to do it live because I wanted it to be saved for the actual video itself, but yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Anywho, let's watch a YouTube video while I wait for my pizza to cook, and then watch another one while I eat. That's the thing I have to remind myself as well, Yozo, and that's what I've been telling myself the last few days, is that like I don't really have to like rack my brain as much over it because no one expects me to like get it right, and I'm not going to get it right. It's just I want it. Usually when I do stuff like that, like there is a lot of like logic or information that I have, or like I'm usually just way more informed, I guess, and I feel like I can make much better educated guesses. But with something like